Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Soulful Living with Megs. Happy Monday. I'm so excited that we are here together for another episode. I am beyond grateful for each and every one of you, and this time is just so special to me. I also wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I've received some feedback from the latest episode that I posted introducing my new series called Partnered to Single. And the feedback was really positive and just reassuring that I should keep going on this journey wherever it takes me. And I am truly, truly thankful for you guys listening and just reaffirming to me that by sharing my stories, it makes you feel less alone and that they resonate with you. Because I feel like there is, a fear sometimes of sharing moments of your life with other people, and being vulnerable is sometimes a scary thing, but I ultimately believe that it does bring us closer together and allows us to have a sense of belonging with each other, as a reminder that we are all here in this beautiful world together and we're just humans navigating this life. But I'm just really thankful for that feedback, and please keep it coming. I'm open to constructive criticism and feedback. I want to be as receptive as I can be. And the other day I got a text from one of my friends, Kaya. I miss you so much, Kaya. I hope that LA is doing wonders for your dance career. You're so inspiring, and I can't wait to continue cheering you on and seeing where this goes. But for those of you who don't know, my friend Kaya recently moved to LA a few months ago. Well, actually more than a few months ago. She moved in September, and I actually moved into her old apartment in her old room. So it's so cute that I got to move into her place, and I'm so, so proud of her. But I received a text from her the other day on a walk, and she mentioned that she watched or binged a few of my episodes, and she just expressed so much love toward them and just was really, really warming to my heart. And so I feel very reflective lately, and just thinking about all of that support that I have in my life, and, thinking about my friendships and thinking about my friend Kaya, who is, back in LA now. And I was really inspired to discuss the importance of friendship today, because now that we're in summer and the sun is shining, hopefully, the forecast for next week in Vancouver is not looking the best, but we recently had like a beautiful last week, and I got sunburnt, of course. I put my hair up to make sure that my scalp didn't get burnt, and then I put sunscreen on every single day on my face for sure, and I had body sunscreen on too, because I was out in the sun for a long period of time on Sunday, and I come back and my entire forehead is burnt, at my hairline. And at least my scalp wasn't burnt, but my forehead was burnt because I guess I was sweating so much that, I wiped off my sunscreen and I didn't reapply. Anyways, point of that being, we're in summer, the sun is shining, so there's a little less seasonal depression, and I'm spending a lot more time outside, especially with my friends, because I feel like outside activities and just the summer invites everybody to be in this joyful mood, and so naturally I feel like we gravitate toward our friends. And also because of that, I've been very reflective lately, as I've said, and I'm just truly so grateful for the friendships that I've developed in my life. Growing up, I've always had a huge support system through the people around me, with my friends at dance, with my friends at school, even my neighborhood friends. I was constantly surrounded by so many loving and supportive people. And I truly believe that many of the friendships I've had in certain stages of my life shaped who I am today. And I am almost positive that you can relate to that. I'm sure many of the friendships you've cultivated in your life really, really shapes who you are as a person. And, they have that saying of you are who you surround yourself with and who your friends are. So yeah. And as I've mentioned before, I'm an only child, and I think it was crucial for me to have friends when I was growing up, and it's crucial for me to have friends now. And back then, while I was able to be creative and imaginative by playing by myself, because, sometimes if I was at my dad's house, I didn't really know any neighborhood kids around me. So I had to be imaginative and be able to play alone or play with my imaginary friends, but I truly felt the most alive when I was with my friends. And I remember when I was younger, my neighborhood friends and I would have those like front lawn dance recitals, and I had these little ribbons. I can't remember what the actual name for the ribbons are, but they have the stick at the end and you, whatever. It's in rhythmic gymnastics. That's what it is. That's what it is. I had a bunch of those that we'd always play with. And I remember we would ride around on our bikes and we would play this game where we would pretend our bicycles were cars. We'd set up a grocery store with a cash register outside my house, and then we'd have a little like gas station because there was a light post in front of my house. So we would draw on that, pretending that that was where you would get your gas, and then we'd have a bucket of water and soap to be able to wash our cars. And we even assigned like somebody would work the cash and then somebody would be a police officer monitoring traffic and if you're abiding by the rules of the road. And things like that. And I also remember like running around fields with my friends, and we would reenact I don't know if you've ever seen the show Man Tracker, but I loved reenacting that and just chasing each other around fields and kind of playing like a hide and seek game, but you would run. But I also remember the times where, as I got older, my friends and I would go to the mall and, we'd get $20 from our parents and we'd either buy, a Subway sandwich or a Yogenfrues. I don't even know if they still have Yogenfrues, but I remember going to Chinook Mall in Calgary and getting that. Or we'd spend, our money on those $5 surprise bags from Ardennes. So fun. I also remember making those iMovie videos, and we'd have these crazy filters and edit them and do all these dances. And it's just all of those incredible memories that I get to carry with me throughout my life. They wouldn't have happened without those people that I got to share moments of my life with. And even now, it's so fun to be able to go to brunch with my friends, to schedule workout classes together, to go on long walks along the beach, to get ice cream and bubble tea, to literally, I have some friends that live so close to me, so I get to actually run up the street, like 2 blocks away, not even, go to their house. We can make lunch together, have a cute little matcha date, and just a quick visit. And, it's nice to be able to go to the park and my friends are texting me, "Where are you?" And they come and join me to have a picnic in the sun, or planning dinner dates and being able to go to shows together, and just all the birthdays that we get to celebrate, and even the tears that we get to share together, where we have cry sessions about relationships, about family, all of it, everything in between. I truly believe that these friendships I've cultivated are my saviors. And I think I'm extra reflective right now because the older I get, the more and more our paths of life grow and evolve or change course. I realize how easy it is to get caught up in the busyness of life. And you guys know I stress out a lot, so I feel like sometimes when I get busy, I'm a little bit overwhelmed with that. But whether we're dealing with internal conflicts of struggle or mental health challenges, or dealing with stressors at home or at work, or having to take care of loved ones, or working more than we should until the point of burnout, or we're in a toxic relationship maybe, I think it can be easy to go months without seeing friends. But having healthy friendships in your life, I think, truly transform your life for the better, and they enhance your experience on this earth. And I do believe, while I haven't done research on this, I'm sure that there's research to say that friendships are crucial for survival here, because they are those connections that we as humans crave, and it's natural to crave connection. And having people in your life that you can turn to no matter what does wonders for your mental and physical well-being. And I know you already know that, but I truly feel physically and mentally better when I leave from a hangout with my friends, I am also reminded each and every day why the people I have in my life are the most special to me. And while I believe I do a fairly decent job at telling the people in my life how grateful I am for them and how much I truly love them, I suppose I wanted to make this episode in a way to share a little love letter to my incredible dream come true friends. And I wrote a little something for them, for all of you, and that will come a bit later. But I asked a few of my friends actually in the last few days here what friendship means to them and why true friendship is important to them. And I've also thought about what friendship meant to me, and I was curious to see what answers would overlap. And I asked mainly most of my girlfriends, a few of my guy friends, and so some are tailored specifically to girlhood, but I do believe that these are all normal, common, shared experiences and reasons why friendship is important. And so I'm going to read the collective responses from myself and from them that I've received. And I'm putting all of them in here, and you will notice most likely a pattern of repetition. But I think that's so cool because it just goes to show that so many of us feel the exact same way when it comes to having friends in our lives and surrounding ourselves with people we truly love and who truly love us. So friendship is important to me and a few of the people in my life because, one, it maintains a sense of community. You can have a common interest and you get to share those interests with the people in your life. Number two, having no expectations, in the sense that if you take days to respond to a text, I don't think you suddenly don't love me anymore. I know you love me, but I get it. Life is busy. Things get in the way. With that, I believe there is reciprocation, but there is an understanding that our friendship doesn't have to change if you don't answer me within a week. And sidebar on this one, I'm kind of bad at responding to texts at times. And my friends in my life know this. Sometimes I go weeks without responding to them. Of course, if it's an SOS, I don't take that long. But truly depending upon where my mental state is at, where I am in my cycle, sometimes I need a little bit more time to recharge. And so being on my phone and constantly responding to my friends sometimes doesn't help me fill my cup and recharge my soul. And I also feel like, I'm working currently a 9-to-5 job where I'm on the computer the entire day. And so staring at a screen is so tiresome. And for those of you who work in an office, I'm sure you know that. And so when I leave work, I don't necessarily want to sit on my phone and be glued to that when I've been glued to a screen for 7 hours. I want to be outside. I want to be exercising. I want to be prepping for the next day and just relaxing. And so sometimes I take a bit longer to respond, but the people in my life know that. And so I think it's great that you don't necessarily have these expectations of you have to answer me within a certain time or else you don't love me anymore. Like, it has nothing to do with that. There is a reciprocation of respect and making time for each other. But I think we totally understand with our friends that things come up and we don't have to respond right away. Okay, let's go to number 3. Having friends means they look out for your best interest. They are truthful but not judgmental, as they only want what is best for you. This one is so important because, and it'll definitely pop up again in the further points that we talk about, but having our friends truly means that there is that extra support system and they love you so much that they want what's best for you at the end of the day. And so while sometimes hearing the truth can be difficult, they are saying it in a very respectful way without holding judgment, because they want you to be happy in this world and they want you to reach your dreams and goals and succeed in everything that you desire to. Number 4 is being able to have an outside perspective on situations, especially with relationships. This one's super good too. And I feel like, again, in my last episode specifically on, things that I've learned while dating and being single, is that sometimes being inside of that picture is so hard to see until you step out of it. But you have people in your life that have a different perspective on things because they aren't right in the middle of it. So to be able to have people that can provide different shifts of mindset and different ways to look at things, I think is so important. Number 5 is providing emotional support, a safe space to share experiences, struggles, ask for advice, and there's never judgment. Of course, such a good one. Number 6, it's nice to know that even though we live different lives, we experience the same struggles sometimes, and it's inspiring to see you guys succeed through them. Oh, I remember that was from Laura. It is really cool that, we're at stages of our life where things are so different, but there are many moments where we experience the same struggles, whether it's through heartbreak or grief or losing somebody. There is always kind of a shared bond of, I understand what you're feeling because I've been through something similar. And then you're inspired to see how the people in your life move in this world and how they overcome and succeed through those struggles. Number 7, this was from Nat. It says, boyfriends or romantic relationships come and go, but friendships are that constant support system you can always rely on. And it's so true. Like, I feel like when romantic relationships end, you always know that you have your ride or die people on your side and that they will never leave you. And Nat is somebody that constantly reminds me that she will never leave me. And, I've shared a bit of that in my previous episode of fears that I've had internally, just based on the conditioning that I was raised in the environment that I subconsciously believe that sometimes romantic relationships, those men leave me. Nat always reminds me that she will never leave me. And I know that she never will, no matter what happens between us. If there's a rift, if there's a fight, whatever, she is always that constant, and I know that. Number 9, surviving through long distance, heartbreak, not talking stage, grief, loss, anything. So true. I mean, that's so self-explanatory. Friendships are important because they do make it through those things. The real true friendships that last make it through those things. Number 10, it's nice to be able to sit with someone in silence, and their presence is the most comforting thing. I think this one is great too, and I think it's so important to have people in your life that you can just sit and do nothing. You don't have to fill the space with constant conversation and words. Sometimes we need our phone time for sure, or sometimes we just need to sit and look inward and internally reflect and just be grateful that we're sharing this moment together and looking at a beautiful view. I don't know. I just think it's so cool that it's so comforting to have somebody sit there in silence and just know that they are there for you always, and that love is constantly there. Number 11, you don't need money to keep friendships going. I mean, so true. Money absolutely helps to be able to buy experiences that we want to share with our friends, but ultimately I could be doing nothing with my friends. Like even in the previous example, we could be doing nothing but going on a walk or just sitting across from each other and talking. You really don't need to spend any money to maintain friendships. And I think that's so cool because that's what, that trend that was going on I assume it was on TikTok, but I saw it on Instagram where it was like being rich in different ways, and not being rich with a monetary value, but being rich with all of the people in your life. I think that's so true, and that I feel so rich in my life because I have so many incredible people around me. Number 12, girls' night hangout. Girls' night out, hangout nights, and getting ready are the best. So true. I mean, this goes hand in hand with male friendships too. I think just getting ready for a night out together and putting on the music and just pre-gaming, whatever you want to do, it's so much fun to experience it with people that you love. Number 13, support systems to share joys and struggles, feeling seen and heard with my closest friends. So true. It's just having that constant support system where you do feel seen and validated without that judgment. Number 14, being able to give back in friendships. Research has shown that giving back to the community has a positive impact on our mental health as well. So it's not just about receiving the support. Feeling needed and providing that help and seeing the results of your effort when your friend is happy is super rewarding. I love this one because I truly feel so happy when I see my friends happy, or just seeing that even my advice that I've shared with them, or any support, or just being able to give back to them in many different ways, seeing how it helps them really helps me. And so I completely agree with this point because it's so true. And I think that there is a need, and I'm pretty sure I talked about this in a past episode where we as humans love to feel wanted and needed. And so being able to be that support system for your friends makes you feel so warm and valued inside. And that's not to say that you aren't valued and valuable as you are without helping, but it just is that little extra boost of like, I'm doing something for somebody else and that makes me feel so good. It makes me feel so good to see and to see that I've made an impact, and it's truly rewarding. Number 15, there's understanding and empathy that cultivates a sense of belonging. Friendships improve self-esteem, sense of identity, especially in women. It's sometimes harder to get the same sense of empathy in men, not through the fault of their own, but due to societal conditioning and the concept of masculinity many men have. I love this one too because I just feel like true friendships really, really improve who you are within yourself and improve that self-esteem. And that saying of empowered women empower women is so true. And being able to uplift each other as women makes us feel so amazing in life. And I think that I can't really speak on this. I'm not an expert in it, but sometimes I do agree that sometimes men lack a little bit of empathy just because they were taught to be strong, to be masculine, to not show their feelings, to not be vulnerable. But I also guarantee that like male friendships, if you're a man and you have a bunch of guy friends, like you do have high self-esteem when you're with your friends, and that there is a sense of identity because you are experiencing life in similar ways at times. I don't really know what you guys talk about, but I'm hoping that if you guys have solid friends in your life, that you feel uplifted by the men that you surround yourself with. And I also just wanted to say on top of that, for the guys that are listening to this, I really think vulnerability is such a strength, and it doesn't make you weak to be able to show your emotions or to share your emotions with your other guy friends. And yes, naturally, like women and men experience different things, and like psychologically, we are thinking different things at times, and just, the hormones are slightly different too. And even the fact that like women can carry a child, and that relationship to your child and how that works in your brain, and then the sense of belonging with other women who experience that. Like, it's hard for, us to understand men and for men to understand us. But like, I want you guys to know that you guys are so needed in this world too. And that we want you to be able to be comfortable sharing all of your thoughts in this world, because you are so worthy of being who you are as you are. I hope that made sense. Number 16, physical well-being. Research shows that having friendships helps reduce stress by being with those who lift you up. Boosted immune system, overall helping us live longer. I totally believe in this, and I think I kind of talked about it earlier, is that like having positive friendships in your life absolutely helps your well-being. And being happy, I think, ultimately makes you feel so much better about yourself physically and mentally. And so, of course, it makes sense as to why your immune system would be boosted and why we would ultimately live longer. It makes so much sense. And last one, number 17, this is especially specific to women, but being able to have shared experiences, and it creates that sense of closeness. And I totally agree with that. And kind of how I said earlier is like just having the shared experience if you are expecting a baby, and like being pregnant as a woman, like that is such a sacred time. And that experience is something that to be able to share motherhood with another mother is so cool. And just the sense of like, we understand that our bodies are changing every single month, and we're on this 28-day cycle, give or take. And just, I feel like certain feelings, I truly feel like my closest girlfriends understand. And that is when I also feel the most close with my friends, is when I get to have these shared experiences where there is this common understanding. But thank you to all my incredible friends who gave me all of these points to talk about today. I truly appreciate it, and there wouldn't be much of an episode today without you. And of course, talking about friendship, I really wanted to have you guys involved because it's so important to me that I hear everything that is important and matters to you. Before I read to you my little love note to all of you beautiful people, what's funny is I took a little break from writing this episode because I write out a few prompts that I want to talk about. And I took a break. I went on Instagram to scroll through for a little bit. And literally, the first post when I opened Instagram, the first thing that I read was, "Some friendships aren't just friendships, they are lifelines. The ones who hold you up, cheer you on, and love you through every chapter." Ah, of course that was the first one I read, and it meant, like, I was like, of course I have to talk about this now because this is just coming into fruition, and I meant to talk about this friendship episode today. But I will tag the credit to the post that I saw this. It's by Danny Blanco, but I will, of course, like I said, tag it below. And I loved it, and it's so true. Like, you guys aren't just my friends, like, you are my lifelines. And some chapters in life close. That's inevitable, that certain chapters people will come and go, but my true friends that I have, like, you remain in every single chapter, and you show up in that story of mine, and it's so, so special to me. And then literally, as I was about to record this episode, I was on Instagram again, and then there was like these quotes that I was also reading, and this one says, which I'll also tag in the show notes below as well, it says, "Someone asked me, what's your favorite place? I don't have a favorite place. I have my favorite people, and whenever I'm with them, it becomes my favorite place." That's so cute. You are truly my favorite people, no matter where we are. I agree, it becomes my favorite place just being with you. So here's my little love note to you all, and this is for you to remember how loved, like deeply loved, you are, and how much I truly, truly care about you. To my dream come true friends, to my beautiful friends who I don't see often, to my old friends that I had growing up, to my new friends, and to my friends that even though we didn't stay friends for long, you still made an impact on my life and imprinted on my heart. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being in my life. Thank you for showing me what true love really is. You all inspire me to become a kinder, more generous human. You've shown me that despite my flaws, I remain whole. I remain worthy of connection. You saved my life in more ways than one. Your ambitions, goals, aspirations, and willingness to create a life of your dreams helps me to create mine. Opening your hearts and even your homes to me is one of the biggest blessings I get to carry with me. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for holding space for me to be who I am. I am where I am today because of all of you. I sometimes truly don't know what I did to deserve this endless support and love, but I promise I will never forget to express my gratitude for you, even if I take days to respond to texts. I love you all so deeply, and I am beyond grateful that I get to live at the exact same time as you all. That is the episode I have for you today on friendships and why friendships are so important. And I hope that this inspires you to reach out to some of your friends if you haven't spoken to them in a bit of time, and just remind them that they mean a lot to you and that they are so loved. And as a reminder, you are so loved as well. And thank you for your endless support. Thank you for listening to me every single week. Thank you for binging some of my episodes if you're not caught up yet. It truly means a lot to me, and it's a really nice way to kind of tap into my inner being. And I feel like I don't get to necessarily be who I am at work sometimes. I feel like because I'm so busy and enthralled in all of the whatever emails that I'm doing, the tasks that I'm doing, I don't really get to show my true authentic self at times. I think that there's moments of me that pop up, but I do get really busy and overwhelmed. And so it's really nice to be able to sit with you here. And I feel like this is where I get to be expressive and creative. And, I love to write. Like, I love expressing myself through my words. And so it's really cool that I can take those and kind of bring it in this podcast form. And I'm getting even better at being able to think on the spot and share these ideas. And I couldn't do it without you guys and your support. So it means a lot to me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope that your week is filled with endless opportunities of joy and love and light. I'm sending all of that positive and loving energy to you, and I hope you feel it. As always, a reminder that you can follow the pod on Instagram at Soulful Living with Megs, or my personal Instagram at Megan Bieshetsky with an extra I at the end. If it so moves you to, you can rate the podcast if you wouldn't mind. That absolutely helps me out. And also, if you're not following the pod already, I would love for you to follow the pod as well so that you can get notified when I post on Mondays. And yeah, I'm looking forward to connecting with you next week. I am sending you so much love. Okay, bye guys.